Good evening, students. So today's chapter it's social science, how the government works. Okay, before that, let's look at this story that was being provided by NCRT. So here is two girls who are checking the newspaper, and what they're saying that, hey, look, it says that there is a water shortage in our state and people are falling failing sick. In many village peoples were found to be drinking unclean water. Streams have dried up and so have tanks. In the worst affected areas, villagers have been carrying water across great distances. The next, people at the district headquarters, Patalam Patalapuram, receive water supply once in 3 days. The district hospital here is overflowing with patients, a large number of whom are children with acute diarrhea. On TV, on the TV news, they said 10 people have died from diarrhea. Is that possible? Can one really die from it? Who knows? Just hope I do not get it. That afternoon, my mother said not to have any iced drink from the market. She gave one of her lecture this morning. You have to be responsible for your health, Shireen. And both started laughing. And suddenly what they see, a constable, lady constable stops both, and there is a rally where uh, the opposition simply does the gherav of the ruling party MLAs. And this is all about the story. So the chapter what says ki this chapter we are going to look into that what are the government labels of working, that is local, state and national label. So this basically state label, uh, working of government at state level. And first we will learn about that MLAs. So who exactly are the MLAs? MLA simply means a member of the Legislative Assembly, and he was the representative of people. And after being elected as MLA, if they are having the majority, that is, they are able to acquire more than half of the seats in the assembly, then they will form the government of that particular state. And we'll understand this with the help of example, which is the example given Himachal Pradesh state, which has 68 assembly constituencies, and for each constituency people elect one representative who is then becomes a member of the legislative assembly. And legislative assembly is the place where the elected representative group together to form the government plus to run the state affairs. And how exactly they form the how the how a MLA becomes minister, and how this chief minister is being elected. So first what happens ki a political party who has own seats more than half of the total seat. For example, Himachal Pradesh is having 68, uh, let's say for example it's having 68 seats in the legislative assembly, and for a party to form government they what require they require minimum 35 seats. And if they are having 35 or greater than 35, some number which is greater than 35, then this is called as the majoritarian party, and they are now able to form the government. And among someone among this party will be nominated as the or will be the chief minister of that particular state, and the party which has the majority will be called as the ruling party, and the other members of the parties will be called as the opposition. For example, the MLAs, the Legislative Assembly of the state of Himachal Pradesh has 68 MLAs, as I mentioned, and the candidates from various parties won the 2017 election and become MLAs. Since the total number is 68, 34 MLAs in order to gain the majority. And the Bharatiya Janata Dal party with 44 MLAs had become the majority, and it became the ruling party. All other members become the opposition. In this case, Indian National Congress become the opposition. And the head of the state is governor, as the head of the state of in head of India, executive head of India is president. Similarly, the head of a state is governor, who is being appointed by the central government so that he can look into the matters uh, of the state, particularly whether the elected government is working properly or not. And what happened after election? After election, the MLAs belonging to the ruling party will elect their leader, and this leader will become the chief minister of that particular state. For example, recently there is Karnataka. There is election going on in Karnataka. Last election, okay, not last election. Let us take about which party should we take? For example, in Himachal Pradesh, no, in Assam, the Bharatiya Janata Dal party that formed the government, and they chose Hemant Biswa Sarma to become the chief minister. And he's similarly in Uttarakhand as well. The chief minister and other minister have the, and yes, the chief minister and a chief minister has his council of minister, and this council of minister uh, are appointed by governor on the advice of the chief minister. Okay. And yes, this the ruling party has various responsibility as well. So next key, first of all, they have responsibility to form the uh, responsibility of the states. Starting from the uh, daily affairs of that particular state to uh, implementing laws so that people will be benefited, or uh, they can solve certain problems like lack of sanitation, lack of healthcare system, as we saw in last class that though we are having medical tourists, still people in the rural area are lagging behind these facilities, and the facility are much more better in private hospitals compared to the government hospital, though are certain initiatives taken by the government. So how exactly the debate happens? So assembly during the time MLAs can express assembly time में क्या होता है कि MLAs can express their opinion and ask question related issues or give suggestion about what can be done by the government. Those who wish to can respond to this. The minister then replies to the question and tries to assure the assembly that adequate steps are being taken. For example, अगर आप में से कोई संसद टेलीविज़न देखता होगा, तो वहाँ पे क्या होता है, जब पार्लियामेंट का प्रोसीडिंग्स चलता है तो वो लाइव दिखाया जाता है, वेट राज्यसभा और लोकसभा। तो वहाँ पे क्या होता है कि किस तरह से आप लोगों का ये मशीनरी काम करता है, वो लाइव देख सकते हो आप लोग कि कैसे वो लोग डिबेट करते हैं। Okay, chalo, let's take a scenario that's being provided in your book. The first MLA in my constituency, Akhan, Ak, Akhan, the Akhanda during the last 3 weeks, there are 15 deaths because of diarrhea. I think it is a shame that this government has not been able to check the situation of a simple problem like diarrhea while proclaiming itself to be a champion of technology. I would call the attention of minister in charge of health to take immediate measures to control the situation. So फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल क्या हुआ यहाँ पे, उन्होंने कहा कि मिनिस्टर इन चार्ज ऑफ हेल्थ, देर आर पोर्टफोलियोज, जिस पोर्टफोलियोज मीन्स क्या होता है कि आप लोग जैसे स्कूल्स में होते हो तो फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल अगर 4 मॉनिटर्स बनाए गए क्लास में तो मॉनिटर 1 को सपोज़ कह दिया गया कि आप लोग क्लीनलीनेस पर ध्यान दोगे, मॉनिटर 2 को आप लोगों के कॉपीज़ कलेक्ट करने को सपोज़ दे दिया गया। उसी तरह क्या होता है, जो मिनिस्टर्स होते हैं उन्हें पोर्टफोलियोज दिया जाता है या काम बांट देते हैं। फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स हो गया, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एनवायरनमेंट, बी इट मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ होम अफेयर्स। तो सिमिलरली देयर इज़ अ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ एंड अदर्स। एंड उन्होंने क्वेश्चन क्या किया सेकेंड एमएलए ने, माई क्वेश्चन इज वाई द गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल आर इन सच अ बैड सिचुएशन, why government not appointing proper doctors and other medical staffs in the district. I would like to know how the government plan to deal with this situation, which is affecting a large number of people and is also spreading diseases, and this is an epidemic. Pandemic means if it's spreading all over the world, like the COVID-19. Epidemic means in a particular region spreading rapidly. Then third MLA. In my constituencies too, has a very severe shortage of water. Women has to travel 3 to 4 kilometer to collect water. How many tankers have been put in service to supply water? How many wells and pond has been cleaned and disinfected? Then MLA 4 asks, I think my colleague are exaggerating the problem. The government has taken steps to control the situation. Water tankers have been put in service. ORS pockets are being distributed. The government is doing everything possible to help the people. And then came the fifth MLA, who said that we have very poor facilities in our hospital. There are hospitals that do not have a doctor, no medical staff has been appointed for last few years. In another hospital, the doctor has gone on a long leave. This is the same. And similarly, there is this sixth number MLA. The opposition member are unnecessarily blaming the government. The previous government did not pay any attention to sanitation. We have now taken off a drive to clean the garbage that has been laying around for years. ठीक है, तो आप लोगों ने क्या देखा कि यहाँ पे अपोजिशन का क्वेश्चन था एंड जो रूलिंग गवर्नमेंट थी उन्होंने उनका जवाब दिया कि चलो हम लोगों ने ये किया है, इतना किया है, तो ये लोग क्यों ऐसे बोल रहे हैं। तो इसी तरह होता है। In earlier session, you have read about a debate in Legislative Assembly. The members were debating the action taken or not taken by the government. This is because MLAs together are responsible for the work of government. That means for proper sorry for proper functioning. Give me a second. sorry for whatever happened. So for proper functioning of democratic machinery, what we need is a government plus opposition, that too a strong opposition. And the common uses the word government refer to the government department and various ministries who head them. The overall head is the chief minister. Most correctly, this is called the executive part of the government. And this executive part of government is made up of governor, chief minister, plus his council of minister, and all the MLA who gathered together in the legislative assembly are called the legislators. They are the one who authorize and supervise their work. As we saw earlier session, it is from among them that head the executive or becomes the chief minister. Then next is the working of government. The legislative assembly is not the only place where the opinions are expressed about the work of the government and the action is demanded. We will find this in newspaper, TV channel, and other organizations regularly talking about the government. In our democracy, there are various ways through which people express their views and also take action. For example, soon after the discussion in the assembly, there was a press conference organized by the health minister. Large number of people from different newspapers were present. The minister and some government official were also present. The minister explained the steps the government has taken. Reporters asked many questions at this meeting. These discussions were then reported in different newspaper. That means the media is also an important part of a democracy. During the next week, the Chief Minister and the Minister for Health visited Patalpuram. They went to visit the families who lost their relative and also visited people in the hospital. The government announced a compensation for these families. The Chief Minister also said that he would thought the problem was not only one of sanitation but also lacking of clean drinking water. He said that a high level inquiry committee will be asked to look into the needs of the district to provide sanitation facility and would request the minister for public work to take care of these needs of proper water supply in the region. As you saw above, the people in power, like the chief minister, the minister, have to take action. They do so through various departments like PWD, the agriculture department, health department, education, and so on. They also have to answer the questions that are asked in the legislative assembly and convince people asking the question that proper steps are being taken. At the same time, newspapers, media houses widely discuss the issues and the government has to respond. For example, in the press conference or the debate that you see at 9 a.m., though currently it's going on like crazy things, but still, certain channels do right things too. So the government can also decide to make news laws for states regarding uh, sanitation and health facility. For example, it may make it compulsory for municipality corporation to ensure that there are adequate toilets in every urban area. It may also ensure that a health worker is appointed in every village and so on. In a democracy, it is the people who elect their representative as the members of legislative assembly. Thus, it is the people who has the main authority. Though it sounds really like having the strength, having the power in the ordinary people, but the ground level truth is quite different. But still, as per studies, yes, it is. The ruling party members then form the government, and some members are appointed as ministers. These ministers are in charge of various departments. As I said, that they are given their portfolio where they have to do their or manage their work. सो इन द एंड कि हमने आज क्या देखा, फर्स्ट कि जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट होता है उसका हेड हो गया कौन, गवर्नर. देन चीफ मिनिस्टर एंड काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर अलॉन्ग विद गवर्नर फॉर्म्स द एग्जीक्यूटिव part of the state, and this the party having or जो पार्टी बहुमत से जीतती है इलेक्शन में, वो पार्टी अपना शासन और गवर्नमेंट बनाती है और उसे हम रूलिंग पार्टी कहते हैं, बाकियों को अपोजिशन. एंड उसका एग्जाम्पल देखा. एंड उसके जो काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर हैं उनमें से हर एक को और एक कुछ को उनका अपना एक मिनिस्ट्री दिया जाता है जिसके अंडर उन्हें काम करना होता है स्टेट के वेलफेयर, स्टेट के डेवलपमेंट के लिए एंड लोगों के वेलफेयर के लिए. एंड उन्हीं सब अगर प्रॉपरली नहीं हुआ तो उसके लिए उन्हें असेंबली में क्वेश्चन किया जाता है एंड वो लोग उसके जवाब देने के लिए बाउंड हैं. एंड और एक चीज़ कि मीडिया एक इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट है. क्यों? क्योंकि वो लोग मिनिस्टर्स क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या नहीं कर रहे हैं, कितना काम हो रहा है, नहीं हो रहा है, ये सच लोगों तक ला रहे हैं बाय मीन्स ऑफ बी इट इन न्यूज़ प्रिंट मीडिया और बाय मीन्स ऑफ conferences, news that media conferences, or by means of debate in their prime time shows. And hence these are the strong pillars of uh, constitution. That's it for today. Thank you.